Miary Zo, the Tekken 8 Season 2's latest and final DLC character for the season, is almost here. But thanks to Bandai Namco, I got the chance to try her out early to bring you this video to go through her key moves, punishment, and more. Miary Zo's fighting style mixes Moreng martial arts with some moves from the franchise's Animals and Ogre. These moves are more of an inspiration from these characters than a direct imitation, so if you are hoping this character is Ogre 2.0 or Roger's replacement, well, let me tell you that she is far from it. She uses the Ogre powers to summon a tail, horn, snakes, and a staff. On top of being an expert at kickboxing, which she relies on the most, making her more grounded and easier to look at than we initially thought. They just did a fantastic job balancing her fantasy elements and martial arts. Miary Zo has two stances, Morenge Mirusu and Kaobab Mir. Morenge Mirusu, or let's call it MMO for short, is her best one. So let's talk about it first. MMO can be accessed by pressing forward 3 and can instantly be cancelled by pressing down back, allowing her to block almost instantly or mix her opponents up with her full crouch options with full crouch down forward 4 and while standing 1-4. Or you can just get some pretty saucy combos like this one once you get the execution down. Now let's take a look at her fantastic options from her MMO stance. MMO 1-2, a 13 frame mid-high hit confirmable heat engager that launches if used in heat, and it is her fastest option, making it a good lockdown tool to use after moves that transitions her into this stance. But it's weak to sidesteps to her right, which can be countered by other options such as MMO 2 and MMO 4, two moves that I'm going to talk about a bit later. MMO 1-4, a mid-13 on block extension for the same move that puts her on her Kaobab Mir stance for a mix-up on hit, and if the second hit catches her opponent's on counter, it will become a full launcher. Next up we have MMO 2, which is a counter hit mid-launcher that is -6 on block. Pretty great to get closer to her opponents and one of my favorite options. MMO 3, a mid-power crush that knocks down on hit and is -13 on block. Useful against who wants to interrupt the stance. MMO 1+2, a 26 frames plus 6 on block move that launches on counter hit, and if you want, you can enter the other stance to mix up your opponents with it. And finally, MMO up 1+2, which doesn't have that many uses besides looking kinda cute. Let's move on to the next stance. Kaobab Mir, or let's use KMH for short, is the stance she uses to summon her staff. This stance can be accessed by pressing 3+4 and has some good options from it too, so let's discuss these options. KMH 1-4 is her fastest option coming off 13 frames, locking her opponents down from pressing any buttons while on plus frames. For example, after her running 3, this will keep the pressure going, but it is extremely linear, and this is where the other options come to play. You have KMH 3, a mid-homing heat engager that is -9 on block and launches on heat dash. Once conditioned, you use the low KMH 4, a strong hell sweep that is launch punishable on block. And finally, KMH 2, which is a launcher that catches her ducking opponents and widely used during her combos, but it is very punishable on block. Overall, this stance is heavy on mind games, since she can get floated easily off it with jabs, so cancel it by pressing down back to duck your opponent's jab attempts and launch them or lock them down with 1-3+4. This is going to be the safest option, along with cancelling with down back to block. For her key moves, down forward 1 is the first move I want to talk about. She have a traditional down forward 1, and what makes it exceptional is the fact it is -2 on block, while having a high extension that can transition her into her MMO stance for a true mix-up on hit. She also has a -13 mid extension that launches on counter hit, and can put her into her staff stance. To balance things out, her down forward 1 is one of the most linear down forward 1s in the game, weak to both sidestep left and sidestep right. Down forward 4 is a counter hit launching knee move that is -4 on block and has a decent pushback, plus 5 on normal hit, making it one of the best keep outs and counter hit tools in the game. She can also enter MMO stance from it, giving her a real mix up on normal hit for her stance options. Next up, we have Sidestep 2, a plus on hit and block mid move that have the ability to enter the MMO stance, making it both good for approaching and counter her opponents for beefy damage. And she have a running move, running 2-1. Her running 2-1 is going to be her main approaching tool that closes the gap between her and her opponents, which is a good start for her pressure and opening up her opponents. With a plus 4 on block and the ability to put her on her MMO stance, this will make the mix-up between the mid-heat engager option and the low option be quite scary. Forward 4-2, it is a very unique wall splatting string. If you press up, she will launch her opponents to the left, and if you press down, you will send them flying to the right, giving it a very unique properties never seen in a Tekken game. Back to 3. Her to go 13 frame fast homing move to make up for her linearity. A double high jailing string that gives her the ability to enter MMO or to continue with a third wall splatting high hit. Miary Zo's options during heat mostly come from her powered up moves, most notably forward 4-2-2, which becomes a stronger version of her normal forward 4-2-2, and to my favorite addition is an extension to her MMO 3-4 with MMO 3-4-1+2, which also has the potential to wall splat from certain ranges, with MMO 1-2 becoming a full launcher fused as a heat engager. That makes her even more scary up close. Her heat smash is a 17 frame plus 6 if you choose to enter the Mir stance, and minus 2 without the stance. It has the properties to break the floor as well. For 10 frames, Miary Zo's 112 is a strong punisher that puts her in Norin Murusu. She can also hit confirm it, but if she fails, the fourth hit will come out automatically, making the last 2 hit easily duckable. 2-2, it is her wall splatting 11 frames punish with a decent reach as well. Buck 1-4 is her 12 frames wall splatting punish that lunges on counter hit, works similar to King's Back 1. 3-2, a 13 frame heat engager, and she has the traditional down forward 2 for 15 frames or her double hit hop kick. For her while standing punishment, while standing 4 for 11 frames, she has a normal while standing 4 with no follow-ups, as raw as it gets. While standing 1-4 for a 13 frames heat engager that only guarantees a follow-up on heat dash. And a while standing 2 launcher for 15 frames or her hop kick. So my general thoughts so far is that she is one of the most fun characters to play in Tekken 8, with a strong keep out and mix-ups from her MMO stance. I simply cannot wait for her to release in December 2nd, to dive into her deeper and max out her potential. And that wraps up my Miary Zo yearly guide. Make sure you are subscribed since I have tons of more content coming up for her and Tekken 8 in general. Thank you all for watching, and until the next video.